reality of success is that while it's attractive, it's not free. It doesn't come just because we want it or because we're hoping for it. No, success has a price. And sooner or later, each of us must pay that price. The only question is, are we willing to pay? Are we willing to do what's necessary, to sacrifice, to persist, to give it our best? Because if we are, then success is possible. But if we're not, success will always remain just out of reach. Now, there's something important here. The price of success isn't always immediate, and it's not always obvious. Sometimes we pay that price early on in life, working late nights, investing in ourselves, developing skills when we'd rather be doing something else. Other times, the price appears later, when we realize that we've been coasting along, taking it easy, and now we're left with the reality that we didn't put in the work. The price for success can be paid with dedication. It can be paid with time. It can be paid with patience. But make no mistake, it must be paid. Think about it. Anything worthwhile, anything you can look at and say, I'm proud of this, I'm glad I accomplished this, required some kind of effort, some kind of sacrifice. We all know this on some level. Yet there's still a part of us that wants success to come quickly, easily, without too much inconvenience. That's human nature. We're wired to look for the path of least resistance. But if we only take the easy way, we rob ourselves of what could have been. We rob ourselves of the pride, the confidence, and the sense of accomplishment that comes from achieving something that we truly earned. You see, the price of success is not just about money, not just about time. It's about the person you become in the process. That's where the real value lies. It's about character. It's about discipline. It's about resilience. It's about developing the mental toughness to say, I will keep going when the circumstances say, quit. And that's not something we're born with. We have to learn it. We have to develop it. And we have to strengthen it every single day. Now, one of the keys to success, I believe, is understanding that we're all going to pay a price. The question is, do we want to pay the price of discipline, or do we want to pay the price of regret? Think about that for a moment. Discipline weighs ounces, but regret weighs tons. Discipline asks you to say, no, not today, to some things that are easy, that are fun, that are tempting. But regret, that's a heavy burden to carry. It's the feeling of looking back and knowing you could have done more, that you could have been more, that you could have tried harder. Imagine two people standing on a cliff, looking out over a valley filled with opportunities. One is filled with hope, excited about the possibilities. The other is burdened, weighed down by missed chances, by regret. What separates them? One paid the price up front, the price of discipline, the price of effort, the price of focus. The other kept delaying, kept avoiding the discomfort, and now is left with the cost of regret. It's a simple concept, but powerful. We must all pay a price, but we choose which price we'll pay. When I first found out about personal development, I didn't have much. In fact, I had very little. I was a farm boy with modest means, modest dreams, and not a whole lot of direction. But I did have a desire to succeed. And then I met my mentor, a remarkable man, Mr. Schoaf. He looked at me one day and said, Jim, if you want to be successful, you're going to have to change. Now, at the time, that was tough to hear. Change? I thought I was doing just fine. But I wasn't fine. I was stagnant. And Mr. Shoaf helped me see that if I wanted to rise above where I was, if I wanted to reach new levels, I had to be willing to change, to grow, to improve. And that growth, that's the price I had to pay. Mr. Shoaf also taught me that success is attracted to people who are willing to work on themselves, who are willing to put in the effort. You see, success doesn't come because you demand it. It comes because you deserve it. And we deserve it by becoming better, by becoming more disciplined, more knowledgeable, more valuable. And yes, it takes time. There are no shortcuts, no easy fixes, no overnight paths to lasting success. And that's why many people give up. They're not willing to put in the time to invest in themselves. But those who are willing, who say, I'll do what it takes, they find that the journey itself is what shapes them. And by the end, they're a different person, a stronger person. A lot of people ask me what the secret to success is. And you know what I tell them? There is no secret. Success is not hidden. It's not a mystery. It's right there in front of you. It's in every book that teaches you about discipline, in every story that inspires you to keep going, in every failure that teaches you resilience. But it's up to you to do something with it. The knowledge is out there. The opportunities are out there, but they won't come to you. You have to go to them. You have to decide that you're going to take action, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's challenging. Now, I know it's easy to look at successful people and think, well, they had it easy. They had the resources. They had the connections. But I'm here to tell you, every successful person you admire paid a price. They all went through something that tested them, that pushed them, that made them wonder if it was worth it. And yet they kept going because they understood that every setback, every challenge, every obstacle is part of the journey. It's part of what you must go through to become the person capable of handling success. I remember a time when I was struggling in business, when it seemed like everything was against me. I had bills piling up, people doubting me, even friends telling me, maybe you should quit. And in those moments, I could have given up. I could have said, maybe this isn't for me. But I remembered something Mr. Shoaf told me. He said, Jim, don't wish it were easier. Wish you were better. And that's a lesson I never forgot. Because wishing it were easier doesn't change anything. But wishing you were better, that's something you can do. That's something you can work on. Something you can control. And that's the price. That's the price of success. Constantly asking, how can I improve? How can I become stronger, wiser, more capable? It's about taking responsibility, even when it's tempting, to blame others, to blame circumstances. You see, when you take responsibility, you take control. You stop waiting for things to change, and you start working on yourself. And as you grow, as you develop, as you improve, success begins to find you. There's another element to this price of success that's worth mentioning: consistency. Doing something once or twice is easy. Doing it every day, that's where the challenge lies. Think about it like building a house. You don't lay a foundation one day and expect a mansion to appear. No, it's brick by brick, day by day, effort by effort. And sometimes progress is slow. Sometimes it's barely noticeable. But each brick you lay brings you closer to your goal. And that's what success is. It's the sum of small efforts, repeated day in and day out. Consistency builds character. Consistency builds discipline. And over time, that consistency compounds. Rome wasn't built in a day. Neither is success. It's built over time with patience, with persistence, with a willingness to keep going even when it's hard. And here's the beautiful thing. As you keep going, as you keep working on yourself, the journey itself becomes rewarding. You begin to enjoy the process. You begin to take pride in each step forward, no matter how small. And when you finally reach that goal, you realize that it wasn't just about the destination. It was about the person you became along the way. And you always got to think about the setbacks, because they're going to come. They come for all of us. There's no such thing as a smooth road to success. And when those setbacks come, they're going to test you. They're going to make you question everything, make you wonder if it's worth it. And in those moments, you have a choice. You can give up or you can keep going. And here's what I've learned. The people who succeed aren't necessarily the smartest, the strongest, or the most talented. They're the ones who don't give up. They're the ones who say, this is hard, but I'm not going to let it stop me. I'm going to find a way through. The thing about success is that it often lies just beyond the point where most people quit. Right when things seem hardest, when you're facing a wall, that's often where the breakthrough happens. But you'll never know that unless you keep going. Success is often waiting on the other side of our own resistance, our own fears, our own doubts. It's like a treasure buried beneath layers of challenge, and each layer we dig through brings us closer to the prize. But we have to be willing to dig, willing to endure the blisters, the calluses, and the fatigue. Because if we quit halfway, we'll never know just how close we were. And isn't that a tragic thought? To be so close, to have invested so much, only to stop just before the finish line. Here's a principle to remember. Success doesn't belong to those who start the fastest. It belongs to those who keep going the longest. It's not about speed, it's about stamina. And this is why the price for success includes perseverance. Perseverance means pushing past the pain, pushing past the boredom, pushing past the times when results are hard to see. I'll tell you, it's easy to get discouraged when you're putting in the work and not seeing the payoff. But understand that seeds grow underground before they ever break through the soil. And that's how success works too. You may not see it at first, but that doesn't mean it's not there. Keep watering, keep tending, keep caring for that seed, and eventually it will sprout. When I think back on my life and the times I was closest to giving up, I realized that each one of those moments was a test. It was a test of my will, my belief, my commitment. And every time I pushed through, I became stronger. And that strength, that's part of the price we pay for success. It's not given, it's earned. And it's earned through facing what's difficult, what's uncomfortable, and what we'd rather avoid. But as we push through, we discover our true potential. We find out what we're really capable of. And that's a revelation worth working for. Now let's talk about the kind of person you have to become to succeed. You see, success requires a certain kind of mindset, a certain kind of attitude. It requires you to be positive, to be optimistic, to believe in your own potential, even when no one else does. And sometimes That's the hardest part, believing in yourself when everyone else doubts you. But here's a secret. Your belief in yourself is the fuel that keeps you going when the road gets rough. And it will get rough. People will criticize you. People will doubt you. And sometimes even the people closest to you won't understand what you're trying to do. But that's when you have to dig deep and remind yourself of why you started in the first place. Ask yourself, why do you want success? Why does it matter to you? What will it bring you that nothing else can? Because that's the answer that will keep you going. That's the answer that will drive you to pay the price when it gets tough. When your reason is clear, when your why is powerful, no obstacle will be big enough to stop you. But if your reason is weak, if you're just chasing success for the sake of it, then the first challenge will be enough to knock you down. And here's something else to remember. Success isn't just about what you achieve. It's about what you contribute. True success is about adding value, about making a difference, about leaving a mark that goes beyond yourself. You see, if your only goal is to get rich or to gain fame, then your success is empty. But if your goal is to make an impact, to help others, to lift people up, then your success has meaning. And that meaning, that's what makes the journey worthwhile. Because success that serves others, that uplifts others, is the kind of success that lasts. Now, a lot of people think that success is a solitary journey, but it doesn't have to be. Yes, you have to put in the work. You have to make the sacrifices. But that doesn't mean you can't have support along the way. Find mentors. Find friends who believe in you, who encourage you, who remind you of your potential when you forget. Because sometimes we all need a little reminder, a little push. Surround yourself with people who are also on a journey to success, who understand the price and are willing to pay it. Their example will inspire you, their stories will motivate you, and their friendship will keep you strong. But be careful about the company you keep. Not everyone will support your dreams. Not everyone will understand your vision. Some people will try to pull you down simply because they don't want to see you succeed. Be wise enough to distance yourself from those who discourage you, who tell you to settle, who tell you it's not worth it. Because these voices, if you listen to them, will drain your energy, will shake your confidence, and will make the price of success seem too high. Choose your friends carefully because the people around you have a powerful influence on your mindset, your motivation, and your attitude. There's something powerful about deciding to commit to a goal, to say, this is what I want, and I'm going to give it my all. That kind of decision creates a shift. It shifts your focus. It shifts your energy. It shifts your entire approach to life. And here's the interesting thing. Once you commit, once you decide to pay the price, you'll start to find ways to succeed that you never saw before. Opportunities will appear, solutions will come to you, people will enter your life who can help you. But all of that only happens once you've made the decision, once you've said, I'm all in. That's the power of commitment. And commitment, real commitment, means that quitting is no longer an option. It means that you burn the boats, so to speak, that you leave yourself no way out but forward. You see, when you leave yourself a way to retreat, you'll always be tempted to take it when things get hard. But when you fully commit, When you tell yourself there's no turning back, you find a way to make it work. You find strength within yourself that you didn't know was there. And that strength, that's part of the price of success too. Another important part of success is the willingness to fail. I know that sounds strange. Why would anyone want to fail? But here's the thing. Failure is one of the greatest teachers you'll ever have. Failure shows you where you need to improve. It shows you what doesn't work, and it teaches you resilience. Every time you fail, you have a choice. You can either let it discourage you, or you can let it strengthen you. And the people who succeed are the ones who choose to learn from failure, who choose to see it as a stepping stone, not a stumbling block. Imagine a child learning to walk. They fall down hundreds of times. But do they ever stop trying? No. They keep getting up. They keep trying. They keep learning. And that's the attitude we need in life if we want to succeed. We need to be willing to fall, to make mistakes, to look foolish at times. Because every failure, every mistake is one step closer to success. And here's something to remember. Failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is part of the process. It's part of the journey. The only way to avoid failure is to avoid trying. But if you avoid trying, you also avoid success. So embrace failure. Embrace the lessons it brings. Embrace the growth it demands. And every time you get up after a fall, you're that much closer to success. You're stronger, you're wiser, and you're more prepared for the challenges ahead. Success also requires a mindset of abundance. Now, what do I mean by that? An abundance mindset is the belief that there's enough success to go around, that someone else's success doesn't take away from yours. When you have an abundance mindset, you're willing to help others, to share what you know, to celebrate other people's achievements. And that's a powerful thing. Because when you give, when you help, when you lift others up, you create an environment of success. People want to help you in return. They want to support you. They want to see you win. But when you have a scarcity mindset, when you're jealous, when you're afraid of competition, you close yourself off from opportunities. You become guarded, you become fearful, and that fear will hold you back. Success requires confidence. Confidence that there's enough for everyone. Confidence that helping others won't take away from your own success. Confidence that you have something unique to offer. And that confidence, that abundance mindset, will attract people, will attract opportunities, and will make your journey to success far more rewarding. How do you define success? Is it money? Is it fame? Is it power? Those things can certainly be part of success, but they're not the whole picture. True success, lasting success, is about fulfillment. It's about knowing that you've lived up to your potential, that you've done something meaningful, that you've made a difference. Because when all is said and done, it's not the money, it's not the recognition, it's not the accolades that matter. It's the impact you've made and the lives you've touched, the legacy you've left. And that's the ultimate price of success, being willing to give more than you take, being willing to leave the world a little better than you found it. It means going beyond yourself, beyond your own needs, and finding ways to serve others. And the beautiful thing is, when you focus on giving, on serving, on making a difference, success finds you. It's one of the great paradoxes of life. The more you give, the more you receive. And that's what real success is all about. So remember, success has a price. It requires commitment. It requires discipline. It requires sacrifice. It asks you to keep going when others quit, to learn from failure, to stay humble in success, and to help others along the way. It's not easy. It's not quick, but it's worth it. Because in the end, success is not just about what you achieve, it's about who you become in the process. And that, my friends, is a price worth paying.